From a simple backyard to a lush oasis, this journey encapsulates the magic of nature's growth. In last 5 years, we have witnessed a remarkable transformation in our garden at each stage. We have continuously improved and we did research what fits in our backyard as a garden that will help us to grow the vegetables and plants. Let's see in this video what we have done and how we have transformed our garden. Welcome to Roots to Sprouts. I'm very happy to meet you all on another video like this. Way back in 2018, we designed this garden with wooden raised beds. As a first step, we identified the space and then we created a layout. And then we created a design that fits our requirement with the number of plants, what type of plants, and where we are going to grow these plants. With all that, we started this journey and we are going to see what are the pros and cons of this wooden raised beds. The wooden garden beds has several advantages. Number one is it has a better controlled environment for your plants in the way of getting direct contact to the ground, and the roots can penetrate more than the space it is given in the bed. Number two is the drainage system. Raised bed offers excellent drainage. It prevents water logging in the soil or the rotten roots. This is particularly benefits in areas such as where you get heavy rainfall or you have a poor soil drainage system. Okay, now let's take a look at some of the drawbacks for these wooden garden beds. The garden beds what I had in my garden is like 12 inches height. You can increase your height by adding multiple layers to these garden bed, but the one I had it's 12 inches. And you can see the small bunnies can easily jump on these beds and they can damage your plants. After 2 layers of protection that I have given to my garden, I still have these small bunnies coming inside and damaging my plants. So that's one of the drawbacks that I have seen. The second drawback is because of the wood get decay over the period of time, the grubs can easily find their house in these woods, and that's another problem that can damage your root system of the plants that you have in your wooden garden beds. Another drawback that I would say is the maintenance cost. Due to the nature of the woods to get exposed to moisture, soil and water, it tend to get decay over a period of time. So you have to constantly replace these beds. From the wooden raised beds, I also moved to a metal raised bed, to what you see in this picture. It worked really well from the cost of maintenance and also from the durability of the bed. It was good and it was producing a good harvest for all the plants that we were planting in these beds. But the problem is once again the height and the bunnies that is getting inside the bed to damage. We also tried direct sowing method for all the roots vegetables like carrot, beetroots, radish, all these plants. It gives a very good results, but the problem is the weeds control. You have to constantly control the weeds by hand plucking it rather than applying any chemicals to get rid of these weeds. So it's a very labor intensive work when you get in direct sowing of your seeds into the ground. Container gardening, grow bags gardening, everything gave a great result for us, and you can see how healthy even in a smaller grow bags these plants are producing great number of vegetables, right? So we are very happy with all these different methods. It all has its own pros and cons, and what we did, we moved to the next level as we are expanding our garden or transforming our garden, right? So we started looking at what other products are available in the market for us to consider that has less maintenance and very durable. We came across multiple products and everything has a similar quality and the price. And in any means, this is not a promotional video or I'm not trying to promote any of these brands. The only concern what I had is like it's little pricey compared to the beds whatever I used in the past. But if you ask me, it's a one-time investment and it is reliable that you can use it for a long time, and even if you don't want, you can easily sell it in the marketplace for a second hand price. There are a lot of people are looking for these products, but one advice from me: don't buy it for this full price. Wait for the brands to give some promotions or buy it during the off season. So off seasons are really good to purchase any of the garden products, because that time the vendors try to push some promotions, some discounts, and all these things. And also, if you're not very particular about colors, choose the colors and see which one has a lesser price, because I did the same and I did find easily like $50 difference between the colors, and I went with the gray one. I don't need an attractive green or a white or pale white or yellow or anything like that, so I was happy with the gray what I want. So there are multiple designs, layouts, and materials that's available with these suppliers, and everything has a very good review in their websites, and it is very comfortable for you, and it is easy to assemble and fix it. Let me show another video to you later that how easy it is to assemble, but the product comes with a clear instruction on the box, as well as the instruction manual as a different layouts to tell how you can customize these garden beds at a different shapes, because these are like multiple pieces that you can assemble, and you can increase your width or your length, or except the height, you can play around with this particular product. It's a little tedious, it takes time for you to assemble, but once you're done, you can feel the elegant look of this particular bed. The biggest advantage, the more taller you go in this bed, it's really advantage. It can protect you from the predators like bunnies or anything in your garden, but the thing is, you need to make sure how much you will fill in these garden beds when you're buying a 3 feet tall metal bed, right? So you cannot put 3 feet all garden soil. You all know, most of the gardeners know that it is an inefficient method to fill the garden bed for 3 feet with all the soil. So there are multiple layers that you can apply in order to fill this bed. As I said, I'm going to post a separate video how this can be filled, and how you can start planting your vegetable plants in these tall beds. Let's look at some of the pros and cons of these tall raised beds. As I said earlier, everything has its own advantage and disadvantage, right? Let's talk about some of the advantages. The advantage is the height. Definitely, it's a plus for all the gardeners, because even though we all agree that bending and kneeling down and working on the garden is a good exercise, after a period of time, we feel that's too much to work in the garden in the heat, that especially in Texas kind of a weather. Working in a garden is too much. It's not good for you sometime, right? So we decided to have some of the raised beds like this tall, so that you don't need to bend yourself too much, and it is very convenient and it is comfortable for you to stand and do all this work, and we saw a big difference in ourselves. The second one is the height is another biggest advantage to keep away from the predators like bunnies getting in and damaging your plants. And the third, it doesn't allow the weeds to go inside the stall and grow inside the bed. So it gives a great produce. As you see in this video, we had a great result in all the vegetables so far this year we planted, whether it is a peas or eggplants or tomatoes or pepper, green chilies, anything. It has a great result, and we are very happy with what we saw so far. And it also enriches the view of the garden with more visible view to the garden, and it has a clear view to the ground, because at many times when I had the garden with the wooden raised beds on the ground, I had a difficulties in finding what is on the ground, and now I have a clear view what is there and what is growing, and it is not too crowded, and it has like less items in my garden. I can feel like that, and I'm not giving up anything. I still have my cattle panel trellis, I still have my grow beds, I still have my raised beds. Everything is there, but it looks much neat and clean. It has a greater visibility to the garden. So far, the only disadvantage that I've seen in these tall raised beds are like water holding at the top. Because if you're not filling these garden beds tight at the bottom 1.5 to 2 feet in this bed, there is a greater chance for the water to get inside these gaps and it will flow out from the garden beds. So it is really important for you to make it so compact and tight and fill the soil on the top so that the water is hold and it is there in the top layer, so that your root system gets enough water as it needs. That's what I experienced as a drawback so far, but I quickly corrected that in the other beds, as well as I'm trying to fix in the bed where I saw the problem. Overall, as I said, it was a great transformation we had, and we really enjoy what we have done so far. I hope you like this video. Thank you so much. I appreciate all your support from you for our channel. Keep watching. We will try to post more videos in the coming days. Thank you.